Right, you're under arrest on suspicion of breaching the peace. No, you don't have to say anything but may on your defence if you do not mention one question. Something which should later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given there.
In this episode, News Now Yorkshire is lawfully flying a drone outside Auditor police station when an aggressive officer storms in and takes control. Without listening to a single explanation of the law, he grabs News Now, slaps on handcuffs, and throws him into a van where the real power trip begins. When intimidation fails, the officer escalates once more, pushing it all the way to arrest. But this time, it doesn't end on the street. News now takes the case straight to HNK solicitors, and accountability follows fast, with a payout that lays bare just how badly the officer misuses authority.
I'll ask you again, can I ask you what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm busy, mate.
Yeah. Can I ask you what you're doing?
I'm piloting an aircraft, mate. You'll have to leave me alone because you're endangering the welfare of an aircraft.
You're filming within a police station. I can't have you doing that.
Why?
Because I can't.
Why not?
So bring it down, or else I just take the device off you. It's up to you.
Oh, well, that's a bit serious, isn't it?
Bring it down now.
I'm bringing it down.
Bring it down now.
Look, I'm waiting for the cars to pass. It's not safe. Whoa, what was that for? What's that for?
At the moment I'm detaining you, potentially, on terrorist offence.
Okay. Am I under arrest?
I've detained you at the moment.
Okay.
What reason are you filming a police station with a drone?
To make a video.
Of what?
The police.
Doing what?
Working.
Elaborate. What do you mean by working?
Just working. Just mulling about. Cars coming and going.
Do you understand that obviously we're on a high risk with the police and people targeting the police?
Not really.
So you don't watch the news? Police officers and police stations get attacked all the time.
When was the last time a police station was attacked? What, just name the last time a police station was attacked.
I'm asking you the questions. You're not asking me any questions.
I know, I'm asking you a question. Whether you answer, that's a different story.
I'm not going to answer.
Well, don't answer then.
News Now is actively flying the drone, fully focused on keeping it under control. Yet the officer repeatedly steps into the situation after being clearly warned that he's putting the aircraft at risk. Threatening to grab the controller mid-flight isn't enforcement. It's reckless interference. Any officer with basic training knows the first priority is safety. Let the aircraft land before taking any further action. When that fails, the officer falls back on familiar scare line, claiming police stations and officers are attacked all the time. But when News Now asks the obvious question, when did that last happen? The officer has no answer. He can't point to a recent incident because the facts don't support the claim. There's been no pattern of major attacks on UK police stations in recent years. Certainly nothing that would justify treating a visible, compliant drone pilot as an immediate threat.
Who are you?
Terrorism legislation doesn't give you the right to my name.
Who are you?
Terrorism legislation doesn't give you the right to my name.
No, but if you're committing offences and I don't know who you are,
yeah,
then I can arrest you.
What
and
offences
then
have I committed?
we'll work out at the police station.
What offences have I committed? You're twisting the cuff.
I'm not twisting the cuff at all, I'm just holding it.
What offences have I committed? None.
That's what I'm trying to establish now.
Well, establish that then before you put cuffs on me.
No.
Bloody hell.
I don't know who you are.
I don't know who
and
you
I
are.
can't have you running away.
I don't know who you are.
I'm a police officer, you can clearly see that.
I'm a member of the public, you can clearly see that.
I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are.
If we suspect you committing an offence, we just need to find out who you are.
Yeah, but what offence do you suspect me of committing?
You can't be, it's a restricted area, you can't be flying a drone or... Has he been flying a drone?
Yeah.
Of course I can.
No, you see all this, like, so that sharp's from the fence, all
Yeah.
so people can't get inside.
Yeah, but you don't own the airspace. Can a plane fly over the top?
That's a little bit different, isn't it?
No, it's not, it's exactly the same.
It is a little bit.
No, it's exactly the same.
authorisation.
I had authorisation yesterday by the Civil Aviation Authority to fly over Ellen Road, and that's exactly what I did.
Claim that the area is restricted is where the entire encounter collapses. In the UK, airspace isn't controlled by individual officers or police forces. It's regulated nationally by the Civil Aviation Authority. If a drone flight were genuinely prohibited, that restriction would be formally designated, publicly published, and enforceable under CAA rules, not declared on the spot by an officer who feels uneasy. What this moment really exposes is a training gap. Drone use is now commonplace, yet these officers clearly don't understand where their authority ends and the CAA's begins. Instead of knowing the basic framework, who regulates airspace, what qualifies as a real restriction, and what powers police actually have, they lean on confidence and assumption, and that's how lawful activity turns into unlawful enforcement.
Alright, so
you don't need
so you had to have authority to do it?
Over Ellen Road because of the stadium. You don't need the authorisation here.
So you've not contacted anyone from West Yorkshire Police?
Today?
Yeah.
No. They don't need
It would just be an
to.
ideal situation if you were to do that one.
Maybe so, yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Who are
What's your
you?
YouTube?
What's your name?
PC Calvo 5822.
Awesome, I'll be putting a complaint in about you.
What's your YouTube account?
I can't tell you that, mate. Not while he's here.
I've just told you who I am. I need to establish who you are.
Well, you won't be.
So cuffs have been applied to prevent your disappearance, which is...
What, disappearance for what though? But what do you suspect me of doing?
Potentially committing terrorism offences.
Okay. Well, if you suspect me of committing a terrorism offence, then you should arrest me, shouldn't you? Got HNK solicitors on speed dial, don't we know?
Have you got anything on you that may harm me or my colleagues?
No.
Okay.
And nothing that will let you know who I am either, so you'll be wasting your time.
So what you're telling me that if I were to let you go, you're just going to continue filming with the drone?
That was my plan, yeah.
Right.
Maybe I'll go sort my wrists out now at the doctors.
Okay. Other doctors?
Yeah, because you're still hurting them.
I'm just holding on to them. I don't want you to use them as a weapon.
I'm not going to use them as a weapon. I'm no threat to you.
News now is calm, cooperative, not resisting, and already in handcuffs by any standard that should mark the end of force. Instead, the officer keeps grabbing and twisting the cuffs. When someone is restrained and compliant, force serves no lawful purpose. It becomes punishment, and policing is not about inflicting pain to teach a lesson. What makes it worse is the setting. News now is already crouched in the back of a van. There's no risk of escape, no threat, nothing that justifies further physical escalation. Manipulating the cuffs at that point isn't about safety. It's fixation. An officer unable to switch off after deciding control must be asserted.
I don't know who you are,
Well,
so I
I'm
can't check you out.
I'm trying to alleviate your concerns.
Know. Well, you've told me nothing that
Well, I've told you that I'm not a threat.
alleviates my threat.
I'm told you that I'm not a threat. I am
Nothing at
allowed to
all.
be here. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not committing any offences.
Well,
I'm trying to alleviate
At
your
the very least,
concern.
you're breaching the peace because
Breaching the peace.
There's members of the public that potentially could be in danger with what you're doing.
No one even knew I had a drone there
Doesn't matter.
until you tried to hit me with your van and then call me a clown.
If there's no aviation breaches, then we're going to go breach of peace because it's going to continue to do it and potentially put members of the public at harm.
I'm not. I've been trained to fly this drone safely.
You haven't told me who you are, so we can't check you out.
News now is flying a DJI Mini, a sub 250 gram drone built to minimize risk and commonly used in public spaces. There's no crowd, no disorder, and no reaction from the public at all. The only claim of danger comes from the officer, and it appears when it's convenient. What really gives us away is the desperation. He isn't responding to an actual risk. He's hunting for a label that might retroactively justify what he's already done. Terrorism, ID checks, restricted airspace, breach of the peace. Each one is tried and discarded in turn. That pattern makes it clear this wasn't intelligence-led or proportionate. It was an officer determined to make something fit.
Check, like, if you have a license to
Yeah.
is that what you have?
Yeah.
Okay, is your name on that license?
Potentially.
Potentially, right. You see where I'm going with this. We just need to kind of identify that you've got a license to be able to do so and so. It's like driving a car. Have you got a license to drive this car? Yeah, I can see it. That's my name, right. So that's your name. I can confirm it by a picture of your license.
But there's legislation
Is that the same
involved
details?
in driving cars.
Sorry?
There is in flying drones.
What
as
is
well.
it? There's a legislation.
You tell me. You tell me you're a member of the aviation authority or
Did I? I never said
society,
that.
and that you've signed up.
I never said that.
You seem to have more knowledge than me.
I do. That is correct.
You enlighten us then. You educate us.
I don't want to educate you. I charge for my services.
So have you got an operator ID number?
Yes.
And what is it?
Are we talking about terrorism or are we talking about drones?
Talking about drones.
We're talking about drones. So why am I still in handcuffs? If you want to uncuff me and we want to have a conversation, there is, you know...
You're still a threat to me because I don't
I'm
know
not
who
a
you
threat
are.
to you. I'm not a threat to anybody. It's ridiculous, mate. You come up to me, tried to hit me with your van, called me a clown, and then put cuffs on me. Said I was a terrorist. And now you want me to help you
I
out.
haven't said you were a terrorist.
And educate you.
I said I've detained you.
Under terrorism legislation.
Believing you potentially you could be a or committing terrorism.
Right, well, to use
offences.
terrorism legislation, you have to reasonably suspect that the person you're dealing with is, in fact, a terrorist.
This is the moment HNK likely marked as a guaranteed win, because the officer dismantles his own case in real time. The conversation quietly shifts away from terrorism and lands squarely on drones, and news now snaps to it immediately. Are we dealing with terrorism or drones? The officer answers drones. That single word matters. It removes the only legal crutch he'd been using to keep News Now restrained. He then makes it worse by insisting he never called News Now a terrorist. That isn't reassurance, it's a confession. Terrorism powers require reasonable suspicion about the person, not a general discomfort with equipment or location. By admitting he never believed News Now was a terrorist, the officer concedes the legal threshold was never met at all.
So you reasonably suspect that I am in fact a terrorist? No. So then take the cuffs
I'm
off
shaking my
me.
head in bewilderment.
Well, why? Because you're bewildered that I know so much about the legislation?
No, you've read something and it's not true.
I've read lots of things on legislation.gov.uk.
Well done. Are you going to give us your name?
Do I have to give you my name?
Yeah, because now you're telling us that you've got something with the Civil Aviation Authority, an ID number, and we need to establish that.
Yeah.
So who are you?
Well, if you knew the legislation, you'd know where to find the ID number, wouldn't you?
The ID number, you need to tell me your ID number and your name, please.
Under what law? Under what law says that I have to do that?
Right, I'm just going to lock him up for breach of peace.
Okay.
Right, you're under arrest on suspicion of breach of the peace.
No
You don't have to say anything but may on your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you later will on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
Okay, so we spoke to H&K solicitors, and they dealt with everything. They literally dealt with everything, guys, and I can't thank them enough for the effort that they put in. £3,500 in compensation, which is absolutely brilliant. And again, a big thank you to H&K solicitors for sorting that out.
That arrest wasn't about public order. It was about silencing someone who had just exposed how hollow the officer's decisions had been from the very start. The aftermath confirms it. News Now hands a case to HNK, and all that street-level bravado vanishes behind closed doors. There's no courtroom battle, no attempt to defend the actions, just a £3,500 payout to make the problem disappear. That figure speaks volumes. Forces don't pay compensation when officers act lawfully. They pay when the footage, the contradictions, and the misuse of powers make the outcome unavoidable. A routine drone flight should never have escalated into force. Handcuffs and arrest. Strip away the noise and a clear pattern emerges. Decisions driven by irritation, not risk. Each time News Now calmly explained the law, the response wasn't reassessment. It was escalation. Drones became restricted areas. Then breach of the peace. Each new justification dragged in to prop up the last bad call. News Now didn't win by shouting or provoking. He won by staying consistent while the officer's reasoning collapsed in real time. And in the end, that £3,500 doesn't come out of the officer's pocket. It comes from the taxpayer. Money meant for real policing, real training, and real public safety, not cleaning up the consequences of one officer's failure to stay lawful and professional.